Hi, it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, mom of 5, homeschooling 2 of them, ages 12 and 14. Today I'm participating in a collab with Davine from Common the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool, and they're both linked below in the description, as well as the playlist to the other homeschool YouTubers who are sharing their curriculum picks for the 2026-2027 school year. Last week we shared our math curriculum picks, and I'll link a link to that video as well. This week we are sharing our ELA, or English Language Arts, curriculum picks. So, as I said, I have 2 students, a rising grade 7 and a rising grade 10, and so this is their ELA picks for next year. So, starting with my rising grade 10, for ELA this year we tried reading nonfiction books that either he liked or wanted to read, or that I thought would be interesting, and we mostly were going to read them together, because he has autism and ADHD, and he, it's easier for him to comprehend if we read together, sometimes. Plus, there were books I wanted to read too, so we decided to do that together. But we kept putting it off, we kept reading small amounts, it just didn't do what I wanted it to do, and we did some grammar and some vocabulary, but I didn't really like those. They're just freebies from online. So I had to decide what I wanted to do this year. This coming year. So I had a couple ideas. We still need to work on writing, and I do think there's lots of grammar that he needs to work on. So I looked at my homeschool resource shelf to see what I had, gotten free or cheap in the past that I have never used. I found this, Grammar Sense 2. I've certainly never seen anyone mention it or anything. It's a free Oxford University Press textbook. I don't have number 1, so I wanted to look through and see if this was usable. If it would teach the grammar that I think he needs to learn, which is like stuff even I'm not entirely sure about. Comparatives and superlatives, infinitives, gerunds, phrasal verbs, quantity expressions, things I know, but not sure if I could necessarily teach all of it. So I checked, and this is not it's definitely probably his level, because it's not the basics, like what's a noun, which he's known for a while, but it's not deep in-depth grammar either. And I like this because at first I was going to use this writing book that I have as a writing thing. This actually has writing in it. So for each chapter, for example, chapter 1 is the simple present. So first he has grammar and discourse, which means seeing grammar in use. Let me just show you the page here, because I'm sure I haven't seen anybody talk about this book, and I have no idea how much it is or anything. So chapter 1, the simple present. So grammar and discourse. So it's Mysterious Island is the name of the little bit of reading you're going to do. First, it has a before you read, which I will probably skip because it's about discussing, what do you think about when you imagine an island? Do you imagine warm weather or cold weather? Can you name any islands that are countries? We may do some of these, but I'm not necessarily going to absolutely worry about doing it. Then it says, read this geography quiz to find out more about Iceland. So normally it's more like an article. This one's a little quiz. But not quiz as when you answer the question. It's just you read it. Looks more like facts, I guess. So you read that, and there's some words that are underlined and circled. And then it has answers because, it's not like a real quiz. It also has vocabulary, which we don't usually have to use. But if we find a word he doesn't know, make sure he understands it. And then it says after you read. This one is write T for true or F for false for each statement, but they're not always the same thing. That's section A. Then section B is think critically about form. So it's where it explains the grammar lesson, and tells you thinking back to what you read and what was underlined and circled and what it means. Have you compare and contrast some sentences, identify and analyze it. And then it shows you, so that's what this is. And then it shows you the subject, verb, I eat, he eats, we eat, etc. And some more tips on how to use that. And then B1 is something that you're supposed to do with a CD, which I do not have, so we just skip that section. B2 is working on an affirmative and negative statement. So you take the word, like it says, on a copy, blank, and then look in brackets, like the child of a zebra and a giraffe. You take look and you have to turn it into looks, because that's the version you would want in that section. There's pronunciation notes, pronouncing verbs ending in S, pronouncing verbs ending in S or ES. Again, we'll skip any of these parts that are for the CD or that are way too easy. I like that it starts off easy, though, to teach him how to use the book. The work with a partner section will either skip or use together. I will figure out exactly how much we're doing of this and how many pages a day eventually, like closer to in the summer. Forming yes or no questions, changing statements into questions. And then C is meaning and use. So we're still using the simple present. But we're practicing about what the meanings are, how meanings change based on the kind of word we have, and how to use it. So there's different, like I said, there's ones where you talk, there's ones where you're supposed to listen to a CD. And then at the end of C is writing. So for this one, you think critically about the meaning and use first, and then you edit a sentence, a paragraph, kind of like fix-it grammar, but just editing, like it says, which large American city are on 3 islands, and of course it shows that you exit out and write is. So you edit a few things, and then finally you get to the actual write section. So for example, for chapter 1, it says, write a factual paragraph about an unusual animal. Follow the steps below to write the paragraph using the simple present. And it has brainstorming, write a first draft, edit, like did I give basic facts and show how the animal's unusual, use simple present, include at least one positive and one negative statement, etc. We're going to skip the peer review and rewrite the draft because I'm not worried about all that. I just want him to get his ideas out for right now. Later in the book, we may have him do writing. So yeah, there's lots of... It's a grammar textbook. It has some color. It's glossy pages. And it's Oxford University Press. I just don't know. We'd have to look it up to see how, what exactly it has in it. Alright, sorry about that. So, yeah, I was just saying that it has the writing and it has the grammar for him. That I think that he needs. And then, for the literature type component, he's not a big reader. He prefers to do manga on the line, but I don't necessarily feel like the need to do novel studies with him, but I do want to make sure he's reading and maybe showing some other kinds of books. So what I decided to do for next year is he's gonna read some books that are also related to other classes he's taking. So in I think it's next week's video, we're going to talk about picks for science, geography, and history. Well, some people will be doing family subjects and some people will be doing those subjects. That's what I'm going to talk about. Our family subject is only geography next year. We'll talk about my history and my science as well. So he's doing zoology the second half of next year, but with a bird, what's the word? Focus, because he likes birds. So I got this from Book Outlet. What It's Like to Be a Bird. And this is by David Allen Sibley. This is the same guy who makes like bird and tree guides that I am familiar with. And he wrote a book, What It's Like to Be a Bird, for like adult subjects, adult readers. And this is the young readers edition. And it's so much better because it has beautiful pictures. And so it's quite extensive. Like the first little section is a lot of words. And that's like information about like whether, like how to use this book and an introduction to different things. Physiology, handling food, swimming, foraging, avoiding predators, nest building. It's a bunch of information. But then after that, it goes into different specific birds and information about them. Honestly, I'd like to read it at some point. It looks cool. It has a couple activities in it too, like things to try. Don't know if we'll do those, but that's cool. So he's going to start the year because he's doing English same semester that he's doing zoology. So he's going to start with this book to make sure that it gets read. Read for about like a couple, not a couple minutes, but read for a certain amount of time, maybe like 10 minutes each day. I know that doesn't seem like a lot for a grade 10, but we'll be doing other reading too, and so I'm not too worried about it. So 10 minutes a day of this, and then when that book is done, I had gotten this from Book Outlet too, 100 Disasters That Shaped World History. It's not specifically tied to what we're learning or anything, but he likes reading about disasters, and so I asked him if he thought this would be cool. It's very text heavy and hard to even like open. It's very stiff, but otherwise the book looks cool. And it goes, what do you call it? What's it called? By year. Like, oh my gosh. Sequentially? Is that the word I want? Chronologically? Maybe that's the word I want. So, and then if we run out of time, I have more time, and because he's doing it second semester, so we're really not doing it for a whole year from now. So I have time to come up with other books if we have time for more books. And so, yeah, he's going to read that, come and give me a verbal narration of basically what he learned or what they were talking about, just so I know that he was reading. And then he'll get his grammar and his writing and possibly vocabulary from here. He doesn't really need vocabulary, but just he'll learn a few words from there. And that is basically ELA for him. For my rising grade 7, I mentioned this in a previous video. We've decided to we've switched to a novel study sort of approach to learning grammar and writing. Kind of learning grammar and writing and vocabulary in the books that we read. So right now we're reading Harry Potter, and I got this idea from, I think it's Simply Learning Together. I will link her below too, and that video if I can. And so she does, we read the Harry Potter chapter, we write down any vocabulary words that she's like, wait, what does that mean? We write down, explain what it means, and then I teach a grammar lesson from that chapter with examples from that chapter, and then we do a writing prompt from that chapter. So the question is, what are we going to read? We're planning to read the rest of the Harry Potter books over the summer, so we can start with something different next year. Well, the rest of this year, and then over the summer. So I picked out books. She's a bit tough to pick out books for because she is quite sensitive. Although she's getting better at accepting things that she didn't used to be able to read. And so I have some ideas of ones that aren't too sensitive, I think, or especially if ones that I've read, and I'm going to go through these over the summer. If not, I don't have time to read the whole books, but I might read parts of the books I'm not as familiar with to figure out if I think they're going good. And then I have some other ones to add on as well. So in no particular order, I have Anne of Green Gables. It's on the classics list, or the like classics end, I should say. I don't have all the books in the series, but I have a couple. But this is the first one, and if we can get past, it's definitely gonna have lots of vocabulary words because this has got words that people don't use as often anymore. You know, dismal, rebuking. Definitely some in here that I saw when I was flipping through that are less known, so we'll add those in. So basically same thing, whatever book of these books we do, same thing, read a chapter, write down the vocabulary. I would teach a lesson. I'll explain how I do that in a minute, and how I'm planning to do it, and then a writing prompt, and move on. So Anne of Green Gables, The Wind in the Willows, another classic, but they're not all classics. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we have not done that one. She Loved Matilda, nice and short. I love the movie. Charlotte's Web. We haven't been able to read this yet. Most people read this with their younger children. I haven't read this because of the ending, but I think she can handle it now. So, and it's an amazing classic. The Borrowers. And I couldn't find it, so I think I was going to do the Moffats, but I think I might have got rid of that one. I don't know. I can't find it now. Also, I asked her, like, what type of nonfiction book what do you want to learn about for a nonfiction book? And she said she likes the history of languages, which is a blessing to my heart because I love the history of languages. So I looked up what would the best book for her age be, and it suggested the DK book, Language Around the World, which I found at my library. So I will probably check it out over the summer and check it out to see if it looks good, or just check it out when it's time and either read it or don't. I also asked her for a different kind of like more, like all the books that I said were kind of very similar in style. So I asked her for, like, does she want like a fantasy or something, since she liked Harry Potter, or a mythology book. So she said she wants something with angels and demons in it, or some other mythology fantasy book, no vampires. So I'm open to suggestions. I looked up some suggestions, asked ChatGPT for some answers, got some suggestions. Most of them aren't even available in my library, so that's not really helpful. But I have The Heroes of Olympus. I have one book of that thing, and that's right, not the heroes. They're like animal. I don't know. It's Heroes of Olympus, but the animals or something like that. So like Pegasus, or like whatever they are. Anyway, it seemed like she might like those. She was also possibly interested in Percy Jackson, but I'm not sure, because that's a whole other series, and I wasn't looking for a series right now. So yeah, we'll get something in that thing. But yeah, if you know an angels and or demons book that is appropriate for a 12-year-old who is a little bit sensitive, let me know. So she will do, like I said, when we read whatever book it is, read a chapter, write down the vocabulary. Then for the grammar, there's 2 ways I can do it. One, what I've been doing with Harry Potter is I asked ChatGPT because it to explain what I wanted to do, and it gave me like a specific grammar lesson for each chapter. So I read the chapter, and then I'll be like, okay, today we're learning about what nouns are or something, and then she had to like think of 5 nouns from that chapter and write them down. And because of her dysgraphia, sometimes I do the writing. And then the writing prompt might be like, like in Harry Potter, I think one of them was what team, like when they learned about which house they were in. So which house did she think she would be put in and why? That kind of thing. The other option, if I don't want to use ChatGPT or don't like the one they gave me that day, I have this grammar guide, also from Oxford. Or, no, it's from Pearson. I don't know, it's confusing. Anyways, the grammar guide. An English grammar reference. And it's just a spiral bound book. And it has, it's literally like informational. So maybe under, let's see the chapter. I could just literally flip to something if I wanted to. Like, the section on proper and common nouns. Well, we already did that before, but if we wanted to do it again, I could be like, okay, like we did proper and common nouns with Harry Potter. So it's like boy, it's a common noun. Harry Potter is a proper noun. Proper nouns get capitalized. So we just had to find, I gave her like the boy section and word, and she would give me a boy's name from the book Harry Potter. So like something like that. So I could come up with something like that just from looking at this book and its various things. References, there's pronouns, imperative sentences, it's all kinds, and there's lots of examples of how to use them and tips on how to use them and stuff like that. So if there's something I'm not entirely sure on, this will come in handy too. So assuming you can still get that would work. And for writing prompt, I mean, I'm reading the chapter with her. I'm reading it aloud to her. She's not reading it herself. If she's reading herself, that'd be different. I would definitely need ChatGPT to give me a writing prompt if it's a book I've never read, or I don't remember what happens in that chapter. But since I'll be reading them aloud to her, most of the time I could probably just come up with a writing prompt myself. And at the moment, she just says the writing prompt to me, the answer to me, and I write it down for her. Because again, it's not about the handwriting, it's about the composition. The other thing we will be doing, that we have not started yet, but I was going to start this year just to make sure we want to do it next year, is dictation. I never really understood what the purpose of dictation was. I think I get it now. And she, with the dysgraphia, gets really frustrated if she does handwriting. But at the same time, she kind of needs to make it at least readable. So I figured I would take, again, same thing, read a line from the book, and then pick something and dictate it to her. And she has a spiral bound notebook, so it'll stay open for her. And she can go ahead and write it down and practice that all the words have lowercase letters. She has trouble with that, except for if it's supposed to have an uppercase letter. Don't forget the punctuation. Don't forget the spacing between words. That's what she needs to work on. We'll start off with a very short sentence and then move on to bigger things. I think that was it. Oh, there was also, the one angel or demon book I meant to write down. I found The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding, which I think is at my library. So if anybody's read that or child's read that, let me know what you think. And I think that is it for ELA for the 2026-2027 school year, although plans do change since it is only March and we don't start till September. So plans may change, and I will let you know as they do or when they do. Don't forget to check the description for the link to the playlist to watch everybody else's ideas of what they're doing for ELA, and let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.